Tonight, a presidential punishment as Donald Trump ups the ante on tariffs over a commercial from Ontario. Adding another 10% duty on Canada, outraged by an ad featuring Ronald Reagan, he says is fake.
It really shows a characteristic of Trump. The guy's thin-skinned. Reagan was cool.
What an advisor to the former president has to say about Trump's claims. Plus, the high cost of hockey.
Why the heck are they so much more this year than they have been?
Why parents are having to dig deeper than ever to fund their kids' minor hockey dreams. And charting the Blue Jays' chances.
You have winners and you have people that say they're winners. This team is winners.
Then and now, how one of the architects of the '93 victory sees this World Series shaping up.
CTV National News with Heather Butts.
Good evening. We begin tonight with developing news and the latest volley in the trade war. The U.S. president hitting Canada with an extra 10% tariff. His response to the nation not pulling a television commercial he says is fake, calling it a hostile act. The increase coming as a surprise to the Prime Minister, according to government sources. We have team coverage on this matter. CTV's Colton Prale starts us off.
Donald Trump is upping the ante on Canadian tariffs. In a social media post tonight, Trump says he is increasing tariffs an additional 10% over and above what Canada is now paying. He blames an anti-tariff TV advertisement the Ontario government made featuring Ronald Reagan. It's not clear which specific tariffs Trump is targeting. The 35% baseline tariff on Canada, where most goods are exempt because of the free trade agreements, or the sectoral tariffs that are doing the most damage to the Canadian economy, or both.
If it's 10% on top of the 35% on non-consumer originating goods, that's probably not going to have a huge impact.
Meanwhile, Trump is also accusing Canada of trying to influence the U.S. Supreme Court, where next month Trump's broadest tariffs are facing a court challenge and could be deemed illegal in what would be a major blow to the president's trademark policy.
The United States is still trying to negotiate a number of trade agreements. And to the extent that there's a negative Supreme Court decision, it is likely that all the various trading partners are not going to be so eager to rush to the table.
Those deals are also part of the reason Donald Trump is traveling to Asia, where he's expected to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Trump has threatened China with new 100% tariffs in their ongoing trade war, and some say Trump's latest attack on Canada could be connected.
So this may be the time to show some strength in the American position and show that he is willing to continue applying tariffs and try to bring people to the table and extract some concessions in any deals.
Despite Trump's social media threats, he still needs to sign an executive order to actually enforce a tariff increase and to detail where and why the costs are rising. Heather.
All right, Colton, thank you. Colton Prale in Ottawa. The Minister for Canada-U.S. Trade, Dominic LeBlanc, issuing a statement late tonight on the breakdown in the tariff situation. The statement reads in part, as the Prime Minister said yesterday, we stand ready to build on the progress made in constructive discussions with American counterparts over the course of recent weeks. The minister going on to say that progress is best achieved through direct engagement with the U.S. administration. The latest blow to Canada-U.S. relations is definitely following the Prime Minister to Malaysia, where he's taking part in a major summit. CTV's Judy Trin is traveling with Mark Carney and has more on the challenges he's now facing there.
It appears the Prime Minister is learning about Donald Trump's trade moves as the U.S. president posts about them. On Sunday morning, less than 6 hours after Mark Carney arrived in Kuala Lumpur, Trump posted on Truth Social that he was imposing an additional 10% tariffs on Canada because of the anti-tariff ad featuring former Republican President Ronald Reagan. Trump is angry that it aired during the World Series. The announcement was made while Trump was on Air Force One. Trump angrily posted that the advertisement was supposed to be pulled immediately after he announced that the U.S. was terminating trade talks with Canada on Thursday. But a senior government official traveling with the Prime Minister says that Carney and Trump have not spoken since the Prime Minister left Ottawa, and that Carney was not given a heads up before Trump's latest decision to increase tariffs. Mark Carney is participating in the opening ceremonies of ASEAN on Sunday. Trump won't arrive until after the ceremony, and tension is expected when the two leaders cross paths. Judy Trin, CTV News, Kuala Lumpur.
The U.S. president insists the ad is, quote, a misrepresentation of the facts and that Ronald Reagan loved tariffs. But as CTV's Jeremy Sharon reports, those close to the former president say that's definitely not the case.
When someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing.
This is what got us here. A $75 million ad campaign by the Ontario government airing on American television.
And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time.
It targets Trump's tariffs and their negative impacts on Americans, using a 1987 speech from President Ronald Reagan.
That over the long run, such trade barriers hurt every American worker and consumer.
But it didn't sit well with President Donald Trump. He called the ad fake, ending trade talks with Canada as a result.
They did a crooked ad. They know it was Ronald Reagan loved tariffs.
But that's not true, according to this former economic advisor to Reagan.
President Trump hasn't studied the situation and doesn't really know what he's talking about.
While the ad clearly upset the president, Steve Hanke says it's not fake, fraudulent, or crooked. It's just not what the president wanted to hear.
It really shows a characteristic of Trump. The guy's thin-skinned. Reagan was cool.
Reagan was always an advocate of free and fair trade, and this former chief NAFTA negotiator for Canada says it's Reagan's work that helped lead to that first trade deal.
It was a logical continuation of his policy approach to trade, continuing to put the NAFTA in place.
The Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute says the ad misrepresents Reagan's speech, and it's considering legal options.
In America, you can always sue, and the question is, can you win? And the answer here is pretty clearly no.
Ontario launched the ad in question on October 14th. It's now run multiple times during Major League Baseball playoffs, including this weekend's World Series game. Trump says he's increasing tariffs because it wasn't pulled immediately. Ontario says it'll stop running Monday. Heather?
Thank you, Jeremy. CTV's Jeremy Sharon in the nation's capital for us tonight. To the cross-border battle playing out on the baseball diamond in Toronto, Game 2 of the World Series, and the Blue Jays could not repeat last night's performance.
And a high fly ball to left center.
Toronto getting on the scoreboard in the third inning when a hit from Alejandro Kirk allowed George Springer to make it home. The Jays fighting a tough battle against the LA Dodgers all night, hoping to build on the momentum from Game 1 and the fans in the stadium, but they couldn't pull it off, losing 5-1 to the Dodgers. It's been 32 years since this country last hosted a World Series. Some historic moments already in this 2025 edition, though this is not what fans were hoping for. CTV's Kamal Karamali is at the Rogers Centre in downtown Toronto. Kamal, what's it like down there?
But still feeling hopeful about how they're going to do in this series. How are you guys feeling about the series? You heard that right. One loss doesn't mean they're out of the series. These fans still very enthusiastic and hopeful. That travel far and wide from other provinces and from other countries. This is the sound of 45,000 fans singing the national anthem at the top of their lungs, a country connected by the Blue Jays.
This is Canada's team. Everyone in Canada cheers for this team.
And supporters of Canada's team coming in from coast to coast, flying in.
It was a rash decision with my brother-in-law. We just decided to, yeah, let's do it. And then next thing you know, tickets are bought.
Not even stopping to drop off their bags at the hotel.
Just flew in, just came straight from the airport.
And these students from Halifax took the long way.
We drove 17 hours through the night, and now we're here. We don't have tickets yet, but we're doing everything we can to try to get tickets.
Fans from the smallest Canadian province.
From PEI, Charlottetown.
From PEI? You guys fly in?
Yeah.
To the biggest.
We're from Wemidji, Quebec. It's in the James Bay area.
That's a long drive.
Yes, yeah, 15 hours.
Let's go Blue Jays! The Barrett family flew in from Vancouver last minute.
We are here exclusively for the game.
Flights must have cost a bit too. They weren't cheap. Some would argue based on proximity, they should have been cheering on the Seattle Mariners in the last round, but not this family, and they have plenty of support.
Tons of Jays fans and all so supportive.
Okay, but forget about Canada for a second.
Let's go Blue Jays!
The Bluebirds are bringing in new fans from across oceans.
We are from Japan. Japanese people are rooting for them, but they're doing really well.
Compare it to Japanese games. Is it more louder? Is it
more louder? Of course, yeah, for sure.
More louder.
Yeah, more louder, yeah.
Connections across the country and across continents that'll only keep growing after this World Series appearance, no matter what happens on the field. And Heather, the fans behind me all either heading home, maybe some of them going to LA as the series shifts to Los Angeles for Game 3 on Monday, Game 4 Tuesday, Game 5 Wednesday, and if it's needed, we'll come back here for Game 6 and 7. Back over to you.
Kamal, thank you. And coming up, I sit down with former Jays manager Cito Gaston to get his thoughts on this new team, their incredible rise this season, and whether this squad can claim the World Series title. Well, Canadians are gripped by baseball fever right now. A lot of parents are finding themselves infuriated because of another sport, minor hockey. In PEI, some say they were blindsided when fees more than doubled this fall. CTV's Maria Saru on why the cost to play Canada's game keeps going up.
The puck drops at this Charlottetown rink, but for parents, the real hit is to the wallet. Some say new fees for minor hockey are too high.
Why the heck are they so much more this year than they have been?
Andrew Wood says his son's team fee was $1,600 last year, split between players. This fall, after two city leagues merged, the price jumped to $4,000. That's on top of registration.
Most parents seem to be quite annoyed as well. I'm fortunate I only have the one child playing sports, but at the same time, I'm also a single income family.
CTV News reached out to the Greater Charlottetown Minor Hockey Association and Hockey PEI to ask about fee increases, but neither responded by our deadline. The association is governed by a volunteer board, and according to its website, registration and team fees cover things like ice time, referees, and some equipment. Those line items now cost more, according to operators. Leaders at Lug Sports, a recreational league that runs hockey games across Canada and the U.S., say inflation is pushing the baseline up.
Typically, when you see increases in some of the larger costs associated with operating a program, with ice time being the number one cost, it can happen that the price would increase for the player.
Back at the arena, Wood says his son has 1 year left before aging out of minor hockey, so he'll do what it takes to keep him on the ice until then. Maria Saru, CTV News, Charlottetown.
Dramatic video emerging tonight of an arson in Toronto and the suspect accused of setting the flames. CTV News obtained this surveillance video of the fire allegedly being set at a popular Portuguese social club, the flames licking at the suspect's legs. The incident happened around 2 a.m. on October 2nd, dealing significant damage to the business. Tropical storm Melissa has strengthened to a hurricane and could rapidly intensify into a Category 5 storm by tomorrow as it makes its way through the Caribbean. Forecasts show it will make landfall on Jamaica by Tuesday, bringing widespread landslides, destructive waves, and catastrophic flooding. Melissa's torrential rain has already caused massive flooding in Haiti, killing at least 3 people, and in the Dominican Republic. It is expected to track towards Cuba and the Bahamas.
It will be an absolute privilege to serve you.
Voters in Ireland have selected the country's next president, giving a landslide victory to left-wing independent candidate Catherine Conley. Ireland's president represents the country on the world stage, but doesn't have the power to shape laws or policy. Former U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris is leaving the door open for another presidential run.
Could it be you? Possibly. I am not done. I have lived my entire career a life of service.
In an interview with the BBC, Harris says she has not made an official decision to run again, but is confident there will be a female president in the White House in the future. Coming up, Blue Jays Corner.
They're our Canadian, they are our team.
How this Saskatchewan senior is celebrating the Blue Jays and the team's rich history. With the Toronto Blue Jays enjoying an incredible postseason, there's been a lot of comparisons between today's team and the one that last won the World Series. Earlier today, I had the chance to sit down with former Blue Jays manager Cito Gaston to get his take on that '93 Dream Team and the one making baseball dreams come true right now.
The winners and still world champions, the Toronto Blue Jays.
You managed the team the last time they won the World Series. Take us back to 1993. What was that like?
Well, 93 was a different year for us because we had won in 92, and it was almost unsurreal that you're here again in this parade that you just in last year. But the team was completely different. People have no idea that we changed that. We carried 25 guys. We changed 14 guys. We kept 11 players, and we came back and won again, which that was so amazing.
Talk to us about the team. How does it compare to the lineup back then?
But this team never quits. It just keeps coming at you. And that's the way that team was in '89. And then it reminds me a little bit of the '93 team because the patience that they have.
When you saw this team at the beginning of the season, do you remember what your thoughts were? Did you think they'd make it this far?
Not really until, they started to play a little bit. I wouldn't have thought that they were going to make it because they had so many guys in the bottom of that lineup that you didn't know what they were going to do. But look, they all showed up. That's why they won it, because the bottom of the lineup is really big.
You threw the first pitch last night.
Right.
What was that like for you?
A little bit nervous. Because I've been down in the cage trying to warm up, and the first one I threw right in the ground, so that kind of scared me a little bit. It's one of those things that you turn around and you wave at everybody you try to. You'd like to stand there for at least another 20 seconds and just take it all in. But it didn't go that way because they need to get on with things.
What do you think of the atmosphere in the city?
Great, just outstanding. People around just having a good time. They're here early at the ballpark. I think the whole city and country is excited about what's going on with the Blue Jays, and they should be. It took us a while to get back here, but we're here, so let's see what's going to happen. Hopefully we're going to win it all.
This is really Canada's team. They are really representing the country.
That is awesome. I mean, no one can say that. No one can say that in the world. This is a whole country's team. I mean, what can you can't ask for anything more than, hey, have a whole country behind you. And as long as you don't take the weight on your back that you got to do it, just go out and do it. Go Jays, go.
And the Blue Jays legend had much more to say about the team, past and present. To catch my entire interview with Cito Gaston, head to our website, ctvnews.ca. Still ahead, a high-tech harvest in Manitoba. Why this new farming product is being recognized on the world stage. We leave you tonight with another glimpse of national pride for the Toronto Blue Jays, soaring through the prairies. CTV's Alison Bamford introduces us to one Saskatchewan senior who's been supporting the boys in blue for decades.
Inside Saskatchewan's Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, thousands of relics honoring the province's history in the sport.
Each one of these articles has a story.
And mixed in are specks of blue.
A series to remember, 1992.
This is Blue Jays Corner.
Go Jays!
Jane Shurey's late husband founded the Hall of Fame and Museum in 1983. They shared a love for the game and the Jays.
They're our Canadian, they are our team. And, they've got my support all the way.
Support that's never wavered through the lowest of lows and highest of highs.
When Canada took the top prize, that was absolutely wonderful.
The 91-year-old has been a fan from the beginning.
They're my favorite team, and whether they win or lose, I'm there to yell for them. Donated to Jane Shurey
Last year, for her 90th birthday, she wished for a signed ball by former Blue Jays pitcher Yusei Kikuchi, a wish that came true.
I had it at home for a while, but I wanted here where people that love baseball can see it.
Next on Shuri's wish list is watching a Jays game in person. After all these years, she's never been to one. But more than anything else, she wants to see her team win this year's World Series.
That's top of the list right now. I just hope they go all the way.
And if they do, this team will earn a spot in Blue Jays Corner. Allison Bamford, CTV News, Battleford, Saskatchewan.
Blue Jays Corner. That's our newscast for this Saturday night. I'm Heather Butts. For all of us at CTV National News, thank you for watching. Good night, and I'll see you again tomorrow.
Canada's #1 newscast for excellence in journalism.
We begin tonight with breaking news.
CTV National News with Omar Sachedina, winner of the Canadian Screen Award for Best National Newscast. Watch weeknights at 11